Hello, it's Empress LuxAse. Please like and subscribe. Thank you to those that already do. If you like exclusive content, check out my Patreon member section. So this is for Malcolm-Jamal Warner. He passed away tragically at 54. Still young. Sending my condolences to family and his friends. I'm totally shocked. I just was talking about him a week ago with my mom. You know how I definitely was raised off of the reruns, but I had saw Cree Summer, Freddie off a Different World interview talking about she's still single. So I had asked my mom, I was like, was it her that was dating Ron from Different World? And my mom was like, no. He dated Tempest from Bill Cosby Show. And then my mom, every time we were talking about Malcolm-Jamal Warner, she's like, yeah, he dated Regina King, but she said he kicked her son out. Condolences to her son because he unalived himself. We literally was just having this conversation about him. And then he dated Myra, Steve Urkel's ex. No, not Steve Urkel's ex. Steve Urkel's girlfriend, who passed away from cancer. If I'm not mistaken, he was on Young and Restless when she was on there too back in the day, right before she passed from cancer. So I just was really shocked. Theo, like, we're really saying rest in peace to Theo. And also, when I saw it this morning when I woke up, I said, you gotta be kidding me. I saw the TMZ article that my friend had texted me. He's like, did you see this? And then I didn't text my mom, like, can you believe this? Right off the bat, Matthew Perry came to me. Of course, there's been a lot of other celebrities that has transitioned and just been something dealing with water. First, it was the drowning in the tubs, and now it's been drowning in large bodies of water. It was the girl from Glee, the woman from Glee. I can't think of her name. And I think they were saying she tried to save her son. And wasn't she at Lake Lanier? But right off the bat, I went to Matthew Perry when this happened. So I did want to see if I could find anything in his chart. Before I forget, I did take notes about this situation. So I do see where Pluto actually was in an exact conjunction with his 8th house in Aquarius today. I don't know when he passed. There's not much information since it just happened. So I'm not sure if he passed away yesterday and they're just finding out. And Pluto is the planet that rules death in astrology. And Aquarius rules things that happen shockingly out of the blue. So there is something weird. And then his 8th house, I believe, and this is loosely based because I don't know if everything on the internet is accurate, but his 8th house is in a water sign. Plus his Mercury is in retrograde in Leo, while his sun sign is Leo. Just some interesting things I saw. So he's a Leo sun. I believe he's a Cancer rising. That will make much sense. And then we're in Cancer season. Cancer is a water sign. And then Jupiter is in Cancer currently. So, it's just sad. Tragedy. 54. So, with the solar Pluto square or opposition, some will assume this is a death indicator. So, at age 54, it would have been actually common for him to experience a Saturn return, or it be at its halfway point. So Saturn squaring his natal. Then Pluto square or transit to the sun or personal planets often appears in charts when someone passes unexpectedly. So astrology can't predict specifics, but you could look at certain things. Pluto represents transformation, mortality, and profound change. So if his Pluto transit hit his sun, 18 degrees Leo, which I believe it did, or moon, that would strongly symbolize a crisis or life-altering ending. Having a heavy Pluto to Sun transit in the days leading up to his transition is very like tense and faded energy. It being near his sun is often a potential ending pattern. Now, it's not necessarily a death sentence, but it's a red flag. Now, with the Saturn return and also Saturn being square in his chart, Saturn cycles bring endings to eras, careers, relationship stability. Saturn for me is like them hard, tough lessons. So at his age, he was likely under the Saturn tension. So that would have foreshadowed an irreversible shift. But those are typically about transitions, not necessarily death. So he's Leo sun, Cancer or Gemini rising. And I believe in Aquarius moon. Then Neptune does represent its water symbolization. So Neptune transits over his moon or sun can correlate with drowning, confusion, or disorientation in water, something not being clear. So this kind of mirrors the official drowning in Costa Rica. And an intense Neptune transit would indicate being lost at sea, literally, metaphorically, or both. So he had some energy dynamics that led up to this. And the Pluto, Sun, Moon, this is like very symbolic of deep transformation or determination. Neptune and Sun and Moon, confusion, like this, like having rose-colored glasses, not seeing something clearly, dissolving boundaries, water accidents, or locks of direction. Saturn factors in the reinforcement of closure or the end of a cycle, less specifically fatal. So, like I said, I don't have his exact information. I have what I found online. I don't know how 100% accurate that is. So I did want to look at the transits around July 20th, 21st. For me, it's already 22nd. So like I said, it wasn't much information just came out. This is news to everybody. So he's August 18, 1970. Online, his date of birth is 2:43 a.m. Jersey City. So his sun sign would be Leo. Why did I say Aquarius moon? Why do I feel like he has Aquarius in his chart? Let's see my notes I took earlier. Aquarius is in his 8th house, possibly. Sun, Leo, Moon, Pisces, Mars, Leo, Mercury, Virgo, Saturn, Taurus, and Pluto, Virgo. Ooh, is it Mars in Virgo too right now? I believe it is. Interesting. So the major transits near July 20th would have been Pluto on natal Mercury. Basically what that means is intensifying thoughts, crisis level revelations, deep mental obsessions. Symbolically, like, what does that symbolize? Heavy potential for life altering clarity or a collapse. Then Neptune approaching his natal sun, which would have been like 23, maybe 23 degrees Leo in July, the month alone, that would have been within 2 degrees of his sun. So this talks about dissolving boundaries, issues with identity, correlating with water incidents or confusion, mirroring a drowning event. Saturn opposing his natal moon Mercury at 22 degrees Taurus, opposite 10 degrees Pisces, 22 degrees Virgo. This is like stressful emotional pressure, blockage, or heavy ended in mental emotional realms. So I'm wondering, did he allegedly, in the same purposes, possibly have issues with his emotions and mental, that type of thing? Mars conjuncting his natal sun, Mars 19 to maybe 20 degrees Leo. Mars was at 19 degrees Leo in early June. So through early June, he would have had influence that would have lingered. So this is potential for accidents or aggression. Mars scoring Neptune would add the chaotic energy. That Mars squaring his sun late June, he had some interesting transits. Like, I wonder how was he doing mentally his last couple of days? That Pluto conjuncting Mercury signifies like a deep, potentially dark shift in how he would have been thinking or his psyche. So that would be typical when life-altering incidents occur. Did he feel something was coming? Neptune early on his sun it blurs boundaries, strongly tied to like water imagery. Then the Saturn opposes his Mercury moon. This is like emotional heaviness and a sense of things coming to the end. So it's giving, did he feel something? Like he's on family vacation in Costa Rica. And I saw that last video he posted, like basically saying smile. Like, you never know what someone's going through. Like, that was very interesting. That was one of his last videos he posted. And I do believe some people know when they're about to transition. They may at the moment don't know what exactly that is. Now, even though Mars influence had ended by July, it would have still had some residual energy. Now, what transits give me heavy water depth energy? will be Pluto, because that represents death, transformative endings. Neptune symbolizes disillusion, taking off the rose-colored glasses, confusion, water. Saturn marks fight, like something being over. Mars indicates possible accident or physical crisis. It gets faded, unfortunately. I know some people don't want to say that. So, but this gives. Did anybody help him? Like, I'm wondering, family, who all was there? Did anyone try to help him, or like, was it? That Neptune squaring his sun, 2 degrees Pisces, 24 at 24 degrees Leo, and then his sun is in 24 degrees Leo, would have been an opposition, especially around late July, is late July. Strong identity, water dissolving. But it's almost like around July 20th, the exact day, he would have had some sort of delay in his intellect or emotions. Then the Mars is like an energetic misalignment, which definitely would have led up to a potential conflict. So for what everything I'm seeing between June and July, he would have had a deep psychological transformation, like an intense crisis in thought or like how his perception. And then the like dissolving boundaries and confusion. Emotional pressure blocked communication, and they were in Mercury retrograde, which causes issues. And that would have been the Saturn opposing Mercury would have been very symbolic of heavy endings and mind and emotions. Then Mars in conjunct Sun and Mars, this is like added tension or accident prone energy, very misaligned energy that would lead to sudden events. So with the Pluto Mercury conjunction that occurred before July 20th, and then around July 20th, Saturn was exactly opposite his Mercury, which would have brought gloom, mental strain, emotional heaviness. So Neptune opposing his Sun is almost exact opposition, is the strongest water depth signature, and then his Mars misaligned energy adds an accident dimension too. So overall, I feel like this guy had depth around him a lot, which I mean, from what I know of, his ex, Sun unalived himself, Myra, his ex-girlfriend, passed from cancer. I don't know if they were still dating at that time. This guy had depth around him a lot. So he passed, he drowned in Costa Rica, leaving his fans stunned. I went over what I see that led up to his tragic passing, and it does get faded. Now, yeah, in the weeks before this happened, Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and deep transformation, did make a powerful conjunction to his natal Mercury. So that's like a mental earthquake. It brings buried fears to the surface and forces a confrontation with fate. So even though Pluto had moved out, the imprint was still strong. Now, the Neptune opposing the Sun, that's very eerie because Neptune is ruling water, illusion, and disillusion. So that was almost exact opposition to his natal Sun in Leo. Disappearing into the unknown. And then the Sun represents the life force. So it's almost like Neptune literally washed over it. Then Saturn opposing his Mercury, that's like the karmic taskmaster. Like Saturn is going to teach him hard lessons. This was bearing down on his natal Mercury in Virgo. So Mercury is communication. So Saturn opposing Mercury shuts down communication, mental exhaustion, and can manifest as feeling stuck or even silence. And then in the universe is saying time's up, and Mercury's in retrograde right now too. And then you add in the Mars and Virgo into the mix. This is like friction, imbalance, and accidents. So with these transits, the energy wasn't good. A lot of karmic weight and endings to emotions. Now I'm gonna pull some cards. If you like this breakdown, I hope it was insightful. I try to explain it the best way possible in layman terms. Subscribe, drop a comment. Do you think astrology can mirror moments like this? Because I feel like it can. I looked up Ronnie Doe's chart, and I finally saw the energy around his passing, and I'm like, ooh, there it goes. That so I'm gonna move on to the tarot portion. Bye. The tarot, I'm just gonna say I do get like a weird vibe about this. Um and with some of the numbers, could this possibly be I don't like to turn everything into conspiracy, but sometimes when it's your time to go, but I'm also getting like a weird energy with this too. Like, is this possibly a little bit more to this? You know what I'm saying? How weird. Energy around this situation. I already had a couple that fell out. I don't know why I get this guy feel like he was trapped or cleanup. All that water. Suicide in reverse. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna get into these that fell, and I'm gonna put them back in. Okay. Money. Oh my God. Money, boat, and mountains. Now, I don't know if a boat is significant to the situation, but I'm gonna show you that what popped out: money, boat, and mountains. Now, this is what came out: serial killer, marriage, wedding, outer space, and desert. That's interesting. Serial killer, marriage. Was he married? Serial killer, marriage, wedding, outer space, and desert. Was he married? Desert gives me like traveling somewhere you never been before. Marriage, wedding, outer space, serial killer. Was he married? Let me see. Wife? And oh my God, I love the show with Eddie Griffin. Well, he was married in 2017, and they had an 8-year-old daughter. August is right around the corner. I guess, I hate to say it, but I'm getting something ritualistic. So he was married. I did not know that. Energy around Malcolm-Jamal Warner's passing spirit. Energy around Malcolm-Jamal Warner's passing spirit. Energy around his passing. Shoot. Jumper, life insurance. Life insurance. Huh. Runaway water. Did anybody try to help him? Like, how many people was there? Because I'm wondering, I don't feel like I keep going to that. Did anyone try to help him? Because, yeah. Well, he could have. Ooh, live and then death. It was almost like, how's that saying go? Stuck between life and death. Did people you thought would have helped them, did they try to help him? Energy around Malcolm-Jamal Warner's passing. Who was with him? I mean, sometimes when stuff happens, people get shocked and they can't move. So maybe that's what I'm getting. Energy around Malcolm-Jamal Warner's passing. It's funny. Next year, look at this family. Who was this man with? Missing intuition. Something. I feel like his intuition was trying to tell him something, or right around with even with his transits, he wasn't thinking clear. The missing piece may have something to do with insurance. Family party. Missing party. Missing party. Every time I get this, it's like someone locked up. somebody watching you and party. Energy around Malcolm-Jamal. And surveillance. Somebody was watching. Energy around this person. Love. Huh. Someone having a big ego and leaving somebody by themselves. Shuffle to a celebrity. And male in reverse. Who was with him? I'm getting other people with him. Energy around the love wasn't real. Energy around Malcolm. Secret. And that's clarifying family. We got family here and life insurance with the family here. Healing a bit. And I keep going to marriage and wedding. Energy around malcolmjamalwarner. Thank you. Homicide in reverse. And grandparent. And the devil. Depth. Ooh, child. Cover up. And that's funny. On this card it says, what does it say? It's in Hispanic. It's in Hispanic. It's in Spanish. This is a Spanish bank. Or the name looks like it. Grandparent, devil, cover up, and homicide was in reverse. So it's almost giving me make something look otherwise. Ooh, look at the water. Natural disaster. Clarifying a party. Dismemberment. Clean up comes out again. Heavy water energy. And that's clarifying missing love, strangulation, and a gift. Just dissecting something? Cutting something up? Life insurance, dismemberment. You don't get a payout if someone commits suicide. Just secrets behind this natural disaster. Has he contemplated suicide or been, Regina King's son unalived himself? Let me see something. I'm getting unaliving energy. Regina King's. Did he hang himself? Does he get bruised or anything? Clean up, strangulation, and a gift. Did some people connected to him feel like he had a big ego? Or someone connected to him has a big ego? Surveillance and intuition. I'm getting watching energy. Energy around and a gift. Had a big ego, wanted to be adored and loved. Energy around his passing. Something's missing here though. Awareness in reverse. I'm telling you, he wasn't seeing something clear. Almost like, you know how when you're drunk and you just impaired energy around Malcolm-Jamal one, or did he hit his head or something? Material harvest in reverse, and suffering in silence and transformation in the universe, authority, sacrifice, patience and planning, suffering in silence, transformation, the universe, authority issues, sacrifice, I see that, and patience and planning. 1993, literally 9 13 21 4 12 7. I'm looking at this rainbow. Rainbows, y'all know what they represent for me. What happened? This rainbow here too. What happened? What happened? Material harvest, awareness. Awareness, not seeing somebody, maybe possibly just wanting something to gain from him. Suffering in silence, transformation. I feel like he was going through something. This sacrifice card don't never come out. Oh my god, is this a flower in her hair? This is the last video I just saw. He posted, he had the flower in his hair from his daughter. That's crazy. How old is his daughter? I'm wondering, did her age pop out here? Let me see how old his daughter is. I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing her age. Oh, he never revealed the name of his wife and daughter. Interesting. On one hand, I get faded energy, and then on the other hand, I'm getting like a planned sacrifice. Just gonna be honest with you. Energy around Malcolm-Jamal one is passing. Because it's the energy of watching. Very private. There's just nothing wrong with that. Page of Cups reverse, Ace of Cups reverse, Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands reverse, Four of Swords reverse, and Four of Swords upright. Spirit. How you got the Four of Swords reverse and the Four of Swords upright? Was he trying to save his daughter or a child? First off, Page could be a child. Page of Cups reverse is water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We know he's a Cancer rising, possibly. There's the water energy. That talks about bad news, something being impulsive, irrational, emotional instability, which I keep picking up on. Suffering in silence, something going emotionally. Ace of Cups reverse talks about more water energy, not having a new beginning, unstable desires, repressed emotions, being unhappy. Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is someone that possibly has a child. Queen of Swords are very set boundaries, or there could have been some sort of communication from this woman or to this woman, where her back is turned towards this energy. Ace of Wands reverse, clarifying the Page of Cups reverse is a lack of progress, blockages and delays. Clarifying the Ace of Cups reverse is the Four of Swords reverse. That's the energy of someone not being able to rest, needing to take a break, needing some sort of spiritual energy healing. But, all right, I'm going to re-enter the world. But then you got the Four of Swords clarifying the Queen of Swords. This is a break, death, because that's somebody sitting on top of a casket. Needs to relax, a withdrawal, recovery period. This could be the energy of that's why they went on a vacation. Did this woman advise you to go on vacation? 844? I literally almost got his birthday. What's significant around August 4th? And who's 44? So did his wife or another feminine energy want to take a break because of someone not happy? Is there any possible foul play with his past in his favor? Queen of Swords could be an ex too, or someone contemplating getting a divorce. Also, that could be like a therapist, someone that has energy. Ooh, the Hangman reversed. What I always say. This talks about self-sacrifice. Reverse, this talks about sacrifice. Didn't that come out already? Sacrifice. This talks about selfishness, spirituality, self-righteous, a modern, someone willing to pass away for what they believe in, neglecting spiritual development, persecution, despair, and forgive. Something no longer delayed. Something moves. Then you got Nine of Pentacles and the Page of Swords reverse and the Lovers reverse. Something was offered, some sort of resource. Nine of Pentacles is slow moving. There could be something around someone younger because he shouldn't be a knight. This talks about resources, conservative, financial stability, maybe someone being cheap or very frugal with their money. And the Page of Swords reverse is somebody watching something. It wasn't him watching. Somebody was watching him. This also talks about some sort of belated news or poor communication. Also, this also could be the energy of an impulsive. It could be the energy of all talk and no action. Like people are going to say, oh, we tried to help him, but in a moment, nobody did. This also says cares too much about what others think, fears, inhibits action, careless, defensive, incompetent, poor communication, and blatant news. And the Lovers reverse is a relationship being over, cheating, moral standards, betrayal, broken up, something being blocked, uncertain about a relationship. Was someone messing with somebody younger? I'm going to end that there. Letter D. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and Lovers, Gemini. Somebody's juggling. Ooh, there go the other Hangman reverse. It's the feminine Hangman. It talks about Hollywood. Standing up for yourself, creative solutions, and exploring your options. And it leads to a new beginning with the Fool. 2MF. I'm gone. Because y'all know what it's giving me. I'm gone. Bye.